stakes fly, and we're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah. I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah, yeah. We have powerful words.
Hey guys, welcome. Y'all ain't know who I was, did y'all? With the fro. See what I'm saying? I'm always keeping you guessing. It's my natural look. Y'all pray for me until I make it until Friday to get my hair done. Welcome to Impact the World Radio. My name is Cheryl Wood. I'm your host. We're here every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And we're here today with two amazing guests who are going to talk to you about how they are leaving their unique fingerprint on the world. I have got to shout out all of my amazing Facebook followers and fans, and some of y'all are stalkers, and you know we love our faithful stalkers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being with us. Hey, shout out to Perry Mendeltra. We're giving a shout out to Samantha, to Renee, to Tajiri, Nika, Renee Beaver, Samantha, Ingrid, Tajiri, Amy, Vanessa, Anita Gibson, Chantel. Chantel, how you doing, sis? Melissa, Ingrid, Enrique, who else? Noodles, hey, welcome. Sharon Addison. Guys, thank you for being here. Please share this out because we're going to have a really juicy show today. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer if I can. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first guest. Her name is Charmin Rickards, and she is in the realm of leadership and empowerment. She is a transformative coach, speaker, and trainer, and the CEO of Teachable Learnable Solutions, LLC, as well as a member of the John Maxwell team. Her purpose in life is to inspire and empower others to reach their full potential, which is how she helps business, teams, and individuals to grow. She specializes in leadership training, improving communication, and creating high-performance individuals. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
Teachable Learnable Solutions. How'd that get started? Where'd that come from? And I always believe that people's stories are directly connected to what they do. Right. So tell us a little about your background and your story.
So I'm a 22-year Navy veteran.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, my pleasure.
All right.
So I would always share my experiences with the sailors that I had an opportunity to lead while I was in the service, or anyone that wanted to hear me talk. So I said, hey, I got a story, here we go. It's a teachable, learnable moment. So I said that all the time. So once I retired, one of my mentors said, hey, you need to start your LLC. And I was a contractor working in the diversity and inclusion professional civil rights. And so I started Teachable Learnable Solutions, and then built on that, and here we are today.
I love it. See, guys, you know we always say here that your story is about you, but it ain't for you, right? So when you were giving these teachable, learnable lessons, tell us, like, can you give us some examples of what were some of the things that were happening, of whatever you can tell us, can share with us, that you were turning into a teachable, learnable story or situation.
Right. So I'm very transparent. So anything that I can share with someone so that they won't go down the same track as I did, I shared. One of the things that I shared as a commissioned officer, because I wasn't always a commissioned officer, I was enlisted. I came in as a undesignated enlisted, which I didn't have a job, and then I worked my way up after I completed my degree. So I wanted to share some of my challenges. And one of the challenges was I didn't like to read. I didn't like to do public speaking. And so I had to have what I call the 4 shuns: motivation, dedication, and determination. And once I found that within me, then I was able to do anything that I put my mind to, which was ultimately getting commissioned in the United States Navy.
I love it. So we're going to go back to the 4 shuns, because I know everybody's like, oh, say it again. So you said motivation, determination, dedication, and spiritual relation. Come on, y'all. I know y'all are loving that. I'm giving a shout out to author Lynette, who says, hey, ladies, Charlotte, North Carolina, checking in. Great show. So motivation, determination, dedication, and spiritual relation. I love that. So how did you, in your own personal space, if you will, your own personal story of success for where you came from and where you are today, how did you implement each of these in your own journey in some way?
So in order to get commissioned, there's a process that you have to go through. And so what I did is I made what we call a plan of action with milestones, or a roadmap, or what we call today a vision board.
Yes.
But it was written. And I listed it out. And once I was able to see how I completed each one of my goals, it just inspired me that I can do anything that I want to. Absolutely. I can do, as long as I put those 4 things in place. Absolutely. As long as I have those 4 things.
So we're both in the speaker industry.
Yes.
And one of the things that I just find so hilarious is that people oftentimes underestimate one of the 4 shuns that you mentioned, which is number 1, motivation.
Right.
I hear so many people downplay motivation. But I say, if I'm not motivated to do it, then why I'm going to do it?
Right.
I might want to go to the gym, but if I'm not motivated about the end result of what that going to the gym is going to help me to do, then I'm likely not going to go. What's your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts on, I like motivation as well, but I also like transformation, because I want to not only motivate you, but I want to transform your thought process, where you're going to think differently when you leave whatever speaking engagement I have the opportunity to speak at, and implement what I have advised, or whatever you glean off of what I spoke about.
Okay, so here's my thought on that. So we're going to have a little debate. Okay, so motivation, transformation. So I believe as a speaker, and you guys know I speak all over the world, right? Which is beautiful. I praise God for the blessing. So I believe that in a 45-minute talk, 60-minute talk, 30-minute talk, however long you're on stage, that you're not transforming people, you are inspiring them and motivating them. Here's why. Because I believe that transformation always requires time.
Right.
So I can go to a gym and I can talk to a trainer and he can get me pumped and hyped like, yes, and I can think about the possibility of what I could have. But the transformation is only going to come when I swipe my credit card or I write the check to sign up to work with that person and they take me through the steps of transformation. I don't think that happens in a 40-minute talk. I don't think it happens in a 30-minute talk or however, 60 minutes, right? What's your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts is that change your mindset. Change your mindset to be motivated to put things in action so that you can make that transformation.
Okay. All right. So I think we're on the same page.
Yes.
So you need both. I think that's what both of us are 100%. You got to be both. You got to be motivated, but you also have to be willing to, I'm going to say, invest in yourself. Right. And it's usually a time investment and it's a financial investment. Definitely. It's usually going to be both. So let's talk about your core audience that you work with, youth, especially in the realm of youth empowerment and leadership. Right. Tell us a little bit more about how that came about and what you do in that realm, because I know that you do workshops and lunch and learns and things like that.
So, and I was very involved after coming back from overseas tour. I was very involved in my church, from church boards, Awanas, and so that was where I gave my time, because I have two children, and so I felt like if anything that they were involved in, I needed to help, because it was volunteer. Right. And when you have volunteers, you need volunteers in order for programs in church to be absolutely to be successful. So so out of that, I also started, co-founded a nonprofit organization called Girl Power United. Oh. And so through that program, helping put the program for design together, and after seeing how we flourished in the programs that we put together and how it impacted girls, because it was teen girls that we was our target audience, it empowered me. Mm-hmm. And so though I'm not a part of that organization today, I'm a part of an organization that is girls, taking little girls from dreams to women with vision. And so that's an entrepreneur program, and it's Envision, Lead, Grow, that is based down in the Tidewater area in Norfolk, Virginia. Angela Reddick. I have to give a shout out to Dr. Angela Reddick, because she is the CEO with that vision. And so I met her 8 years ago, didn't know that we would be here today doing this program. Yeah. But, by faith, she said, hey, can you put this stuff out on social media for me? And I said, oh, yeah, sure. And then she was like, hey, I need a guest speaker and things. I was like, well, I could be your guest speaker, but I didn't. I ended up hosting a workshop called Social Responsibility to what I like to call Little Miss Ma'ams.
Oh, yeah, we need that. So I have a daughter. I don't know how old your kids are. I know you said you have 2 kids. I have 3. But I have a daughter who's 14. Mm-hmm. She just started high school. Oh my God! Like just stay a good girl. Just stay a good girl, right? She's a really, really good girl. And I think that social responsibility thing. Oh, that's so key, because they don't get that. If you post it, it's there forever. Mm-hmm. Like if you post something, make sure something you want to see 20 years from now or 10 years from now, that just because you hit delete doesn't mean it's gone. Like all that's so important. So I have a daughter, and then I have 2 young boys who are. Actually, my son's birthday is tomorrow. Oh, shout out to Jalen. Happy birthday. Pre-happy birthday. He'll be 11 tomorrow. And so my boys are 10 months apart. Oh, wow. So they're both going to be 11 until December, when my other son turns 12. So the whole piece of just youth in general needing models of excellence, right? Yes. Because I share this story often when I speak, and I share here on the radio show, that I grew up in an environment of poverty, and I didn't see models of success, leadership, prosperity, people living in abundance. I saw completely the opposite of that. And I think that in order for us to be able to see a bigger vision, we need to see a bigger vision. Right. Like a model of what it can be. So I love that you're doing that with this organization. Could you shout out that organization one more time? And if you have any contact information for the organization.
Envision, Lead, Grow, and it is envisionleadgrow.com.
Awesome. Yes. All right. So you've been doing this for how long now?
I started my LLC in 2014 when I retired.
Okay. You retired. Come on.
And I did it because of course, my mentor suggested that I do it. He's like, hey, work on 20% of your time, work on what's you're passionate about. Yeah. And then the other time, work on your boring job. Mm-hmm. And so I did that, but I started the LLC, but I didn't put any type of structure to the LLC. Mm-hmm. So then I was going back to college, and a millennial was in my class with me. And he's like, hey, ma'am, you're so motivating. Why aren't you doing what you're passionate about? And I kid you not, this is last year. And so I was like, wow. Now, I had been a John Maxwell team member for quite some time, but I haven't been utilizing that investment that I had put in.
Come on.
And so I had to focus on, I had to reach out, cast that net wide. I started to study yourself. I started to study Lisa Nichols, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, of course, John Maxwell. And I'm also in a mentorship with John Maxwell and accountability. I've done that over in the last 6 months. And so I have to put forth the effort. Like I can go to my regular employer and I can do my work. And at the end of the day, I'm done. I don't think about it. But when it's about teachable, learnable solutions, I have to be on my grind every day. I have to think about it every day. And at the beginning, I was like, "Whew, I'm retired. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
I gotta do all this.
I'm retired, but I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Yes.
Like I've gave 22, 5 months, 7 days to the United States Navy, and I need to take a woosah.
Yeah.
But then I told my daughter, and I talked to her this morning when I was on the way over here, actually. And I said, remember that conversation I had with you when I said, God's not done with me yet. Yeah. And so what happened is people started asking me to be on their boards. Then I had some of my friends say, well, Charmaine, you're working to make other people successful. What about working on your business to make you successful?
Absolutely.
So then that's when I started to implement and take that, that fingerprint that you talk about,
yes.
And then I had to also, you have to learn and grow. It's lifelong learning. So I'm like, okay, what about this branding thing? I know about service reputation, but this branding, what is this about? And so I have a mentor that does branding, and so she helped me out a lot. And I was actually intimidated. In fact, I was, to be transparent, intimidated coming here. You're awesome, right?
And look at you knocking it out the park. But wait a minute, can we pause? But she's knocking it out of the park. And I think that's the beautiful thing about always putting yourself in environments that are uncomfortable and unfamiliar is that you end up surprising yourself.
Right?
Oh
yeah.
I believe me. I go in environments and I'm intimidated. I'm like, oh Lord, But there's always a reason why you're there.
Right.
And every time you push through it. And you guys, I know that y'all are being so blessed by this conversation. I see some of the comments. But every time you press through the fear, the questions about whether or not I belong there or what am I going to add, can I add value to that, you're always going to add value. It doesn't matter who is farther than you and who's not as far as you are, right? There's always some level of value that you bring into the space, and you dropping all kind of nuggets, golden nuggets today. I love that you said, God wasn't done with you yet. You talked about some core things that I talk about even here on the radio show and with my clients. You talked about having a mentor. You talked about having a coach. You talked about investing in you. You talked about fueling your own business instead of only fueling somebody else's business,
right.
Leaving the fingerprint. Like all of those are golden nuggets that our viewing audience is going to take away.
Oh.
So that's what happens every time you say yes. And you guys know, I tell you, say yes more than you say no.
Right.
Because every time you say no, it becomes somebody else's opportunity to move forward in their dream and their vision. And then you're looking like, oh, I wish I was. Well, you could have been if you had said yes, giving yourself permission to say yes more often, even in the times where you didn't feel quite as qualified as somebody else. It's not always about being qualified. It's about being called to do something. Right? Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. Because I had what I like to call the limiting belief mind scan.
Yeah.
Right? That negative thought chatter that we have.
Yes.
And so I created a curriculum around that to teach, because I think it's so important to realize that negative thought chatter needs to be dismissed, and how you can dismiss that negative thought chatter with some positive self-thought. Like I was saying to myself, well, what makes me qualified? What makes me, that's that negative thought.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coaches, trainers, speakers out there, but they don't have my fingerprint.
Yes.
I was, again, like I told you, I was studying,
yes.
right? Studying, you have to study folks, right?
Yes.
If you have to, whatever it is that you want to be, you have to set yourself in that environment. You have to be around those people that are successful at what you're trying to be successful
Absolutely.
at. So they say guilty by association.
Right.
Well, I want to be guilty I want to be guilty by good association,
come on,
greatness
y'all gotta type
association.
That in the feed. Come on.
Because
guilty by great association.
Right.
We're gonna remember that. We're gonna repeat that. Guilty by great association. That's powerful.
So some of that greatness can rub off on you, and that that you can your fingerprint, your stories.
Yes.
Is what makes you different than all the rest of the coaches, trainers, and speakers.
Absolutely.
And so, and then just putting in the work, I was telling my daughter this morning, I said, hey, when you find your why, right? Sometimes you don't necessarily have to get paid. You would like to get paid, especially if it's your primary source of income.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, until you reach that status, then it's all about your impact, that, you know, what you're doing. You know, that sailor or that young lady that comes back and say, you know what, because of you, I was able to do this. Yeah. That is such a great feeling.
Right? Isn't that the best payoff?
That is the
like,
best
that beats
feeling.
Any check. Okay, maybe not any check, but that beats a whole lot of checks. That knowing that you touched someone, as we talked about with your unique fingerprint, and that because you said yes, because you persisted even when it was hard,
right,
because you did it even when you were scared, like knowing that somebody is watching. I think that's so key. Always knowing that someone is always watching, even when they don't say it, even when they don't click a like on the post or they don't comment on the post. There are people who are watching you. And I always say to myself, I owe it to those people who are watching me for hope and belief to keep showing up, even when I don't feel like it, right? Because, I mean, just because we motivational doesn't mean we always just wake up like, oh, I'm just motivated today. Like, sometimes you just got to talk to yourself. And you talked about that. Right. Sometimes you said the negative thought chatter. Right. Sometimes you got to get rid of the negative thought chatter and replace it with something positive. Right. What are some of the positive thoughts that you tell yourself? Like, do you do affirmations? I know you mentioned vision boards earlier.
I just prayer in the morning.
Yes.
You know, and finding that sweet spot, right? Gratification. Like, I am so thankful for being able to have a very supportive employers, right? Yes. That allows me to be able to, at a moment's notice, even after being off for 6 weeks, go and take care and rub my mom's hand.
Come on.
And I'm so grateful that I'm not in an environment where I have to be at work because we're about to deploy. Wow. Or that I'm in healthcare because I'm needed.
Yes.
You know, so gratification and looking at the positive in the situation, trying to look at the positive and not so much as the negative, because the negative is just it doesn't give me a sweet spot.
Absolutely. I love that. I mean, I wake up and I definitely have affirmations, and my husband laughs at me because he'll hear me like I'm just I might be in the kitchen washing some dishes, and I'm like, come on, Cheryl, you got this. You can do this. You are, like, I'm literally talking myself through what's coming next. You have this. You are enough. You are worthy. Girl, the world is waiting on you to show up. You know somebody looking for your speech today. Like, that's how I talk to myself. And I told you guys before, like, every day I wake up like somebody is going to get a speech today. And I don't know who, but somebody, it might be my Uber driver, he gonna get a speech. It might be my husband or my kids, it might be my waitress at the restaurant, because I love what I do and I value my voice too much to keep quiet. Like, if you know that's your God-given gift, whatever that thing is, like, you have your gift, I have my gift. The ladies in this room have their gifts, right? Whatever your gift is, don't you dare go to sleep any single day without having shared that gift. Right. Like, that's the kind of energy that I wake up with. But I get that energy by talking to myself and reminding myself, Cheryl, there's 7 billion people in the world. Somebody's waiting for you. Somebody needs you. Cheryl, somebody's not going to move forward today if you don't open your mouth, like, every day. So whether it's jumping on Facebook Live, doing this radio show, somebody going to hear my voice. All right. And all of you, we want to challenge those of you who are watching through voxwave.com, those of you who are with us, they are loving everything. Hello, Amy. Amy says, yes, gratification. Arthur Lynette says, it's a great feeling that you made an impact on somebody's life. Ladrine is sending all kind of happy faces and smiley faces. Arthur Lynette says, guilty by great association. Ingrid, be guilty by great association so that greatness can rub off on you. Andrea Crawley says, yes, guilty by great association. That is good. So they are loving all of the juicy nuggets that you are sharing. We're welcoming those who are just joining us. Alicia Huston, how are you, sis? Welcome. Kalila, welcome. Janika, welcome. Kana Johnson, thank you guys for being here. Please share this out. We are having a dynamic conversation with Charmin Ricards, who is a leadership expert who helps, look, she says that she helps youth with empowerment and leadership, but she's helping all of us adults today as well, right? Giving us all type of juicy, juicy nuggets. So let me ask you this as we start to wrap up. Where do you see yourself in the next, look, she gave me the side eye, like, what, Cheryl? Where do you see yourself or the business or your impact? I'm going to say in the next 24 months. I don't like to say 10 years from now. Like, in 24 months, what's going to be different? What's that vision? We talk about vision boards and having a vision of, and you know, Zig Ziglar says you have to have a reaching in your own mind before you ever get there. So what is it that you see the reaching in your own mind of? What does that look like?
Teachable Learnable Solutions in Charmin is going to be known for being able to add value.
Yes.
And I mentioned teens because this month we're doing a Global Youth Initiative program. So I'll be doing a workshop with Youth for Tomorrow. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that organization in Bristol, Virginia.
Youth for Tomorrow.
Youth for Tomorrow. But to encourage Little Miss Ma'ams, give them some self-esteem, help out with bullying and those things. So in the next 24 months, I want to be able to walk away from my federal job and do what I'm passionate about, and be able to earn, to still have my financial status that I have, my financial responsibilities, not really status, excuse me for saying that, but my financial responsibilities that I have right now, in order to be able to do that and be able to do what I'm passionate about and help add more value, not only to the youth, but teen youth girls, but to also veteran women, because there's a significant amount of us. It's a transformation, a cultural transformation going from the military to corporate world. And if you can glean some experiences and some techniques off of someone that has done it, because information is powerful, right?
Yes.
And I remember my grandmother used to say, baby, if I only knew what I know now back then, where would I be? And so if I can add that value to women, veterans, and women in general, and teen girls and teens, then where could we be? We have so many challenges, right? And one of the challenges that we have as women is that inequality, right? And we don't have that many women in leadership positions. So, I was doing my research, and I just want to read this because I want to get it right, is that how often do we prepare our kids for our athletic events, right? So nearly 20% of families have more than $12,000 a year, or it equates to $1,000 a month that they put into their kids' athletics. I'm talking about AAU, right? But what are we doing to prepare them for the workforce that they got to go in, whether they want to be entrepreneurs or whether they are going into the workforce? And one of the biggest things is leadership, is communication, is high performers. And so that is what I want to do for the target audience that I've decided, through much meditation on where's my niche that I want to do. So
I love it. I got goosebumps because I was just having a conversation. That's what I'm saying, how things come full circle, and I believe that there's always like divine connections and divine conversations that happen. And that, I don't care who you believe in. I believe in God, and God will divinely orchestrate things. But I was just having this conversation with my 14-year-old daughter yesterday because she plays soccer. I was never an athlete, had no desire, still don't have a desire. But I was out on the field late last night with them. They were playing this championship game. And when we got back in the car, we were talking about, so they didn't win the championship, but they had been undefeated until that point. They were 12-0. So we were talking about that, and I was saying, I was giving my daughter some insight in what I saw as someone external off the field, and I was pointing out the people who showed such great leadership skills, and we were talking about why did that look like great leadership? We were just having that conversation, and I was even encouraging her. She's a great girl. She's very, but she's gonna be soft-spoken sometimes, and I'm like, I want you to assert yourself a little bit more because you have so much greatness in you, and people who have greatness in them, it's your obligation to step up as a leader, right? And I love that she just received it, like really let it sink in. I could tell she was just thinking on it and downloading that information, and then here we are having that conversation. So when you do your sessions, if you would keep me in the circle, and then I'll make sure that I keep that in my tribe of people and let them know, because I'm sure that there are a lot of women who are watching through online, who also want that for their girls, starting at a young age. I'm like, we're prepping you now for the real world. And that's what I tell her all the time. You're in high school, baby, now. There's no more baby nothing. We're prepping you to get out into the real world and be a woman who's going to be a great citizen, a great example, a great model, a great leader. And you have it within you. But
And be authentic.
And sometimes they need someone other than us telling them that.
Definitely.
Because they only hear, they're like, oh, okay, mom. Like my boys, that's all they're like, oh, like they hear the same thing. So we need someone like you who's the model of that, being able to pour into them. So I love that that's and the veteran thing. Like you're a bad mama jamma. Can I say that?
Thank you.
Isn't she a bad mama jamma, y'all? She is amazing. Charmin says, fostering leadership is so important, it cannot be overemphasized. Ladrine says, I wholeheartedly believing in starting them out young. Ladrine says, Jayana is a gem. That's my boo-boo. And Charmin also says fostering self-esteem to women entrepreneurs and teens. So people are loving the conversation, the dialogue, which says there's a need for it. So we can't wait to see all the amazing things you're going to do over the next 24 months. In addition to all the great things you're already doing, keep serving the world. Congratulations on everything that you're already accomplishing. How do people get in touch with you directly? And follow you also on social media? You
can follow me at Charmin N Rickards on Facebook, and Teachable Learnable Solutions is our underscore. There's Teachable _Learnable _Solutions on Instagram, and I'm also on LinkedIn under Charmin Rickards. And then, if you can go to my the John Maxwell page, and you can put in, if you're looking for a speaker or a trainer or a coach, you could put in Charmin Rickards. That's CHARMIN RICKARDS, and it will pull up my page, and then you can send me an email directly.
I love it. So again, it's Charmin. If somebody could type this in on Facebook, that would be great. That's CHARMIN, middle initial N, and last name is Rickards, RICKARDS. Did y'all get that? Who's going to be my superhero today? Charmin N Rickards, RICKARDS. And on Instagram, you're going to go to Teachable _Learnable _Solutions.
Yes.
All right. So they're going to blow you up, and they're going to follow you all across social media. And you can also go to the John Maxwell page, and you can type in Charmin N Rickards so that you can find her there if you need a speaker or a coach. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
you are phenomenal.
You've been a blessing.
You are a blessing. Thank you for your example of excellence and greatness. Guys, we're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to be right back with our next guest, the amazing, I'm probably going to jack her name up, and she's going to jack me up, but it's okay. I'm up for it today, and it's Quintaria. Why can't I get that right? Quintaria. That's what I said. Y'all just ain't hear it right. I said Quintaria. Quintaria Brunson. We'll be right back.
We have powerful words. We have powerful minds. We use our voices, and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear, but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say.
We want to welcome Tracy Washington on Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. And look, we got to give a huge shout out to Miss Tammy Turner. Every week I'm in here and I'm snapping my fingers and I'm jamming, and so are the guests, because we just love that song and everything that it represents, and the words are so powerful if you listen to the words. So huge shout out to Tammy Turner, who wrote, produced, and performed that song at our 4th annual Playtime is Over conference just in this past November. So thank you so much. We've adopted that song here. I also want to thank our partner, our premium partner, Miss Ladrine Peterson. We love you, we love you, we love you. Her organization is Do It. She turns dreamers into doers. And right now, she's embarking upon a nonprofit component of her organization called I Am the Legacy campaign. The campaign goes off of the premises that so often we hear people say, I want to leave a legacy for my children and my children's children. But she wants to take that to another level and encourage people to create that community and that legacy now. There are 3 components of the I Am the Legacy campaign. There's a youth business pitch contest, there is a youth anthology book project, and a youth conference symposium. So far, she's raised more than $1,000 through fundraisers and donations. And next month, she is kickstarting the next set of fundraisers, which is fitness fundraisers, starting on November 12th. We want you to go to IamTheLegacy.org to purchase your tickets, to get all the details. Tickets are only $26 and includes a t-shirt. And we also want you to follow Ladrine on Facebook, as well as on Instagram under Do It Delivers. Thank you so much, Ladrine. We love you, love you, love you, and love everything that you're doing in the community for our young people and helping them to create legacy now. And then I got to give a huge shout out before I introduce our next guest to all of the amazing speakers who joined me at the kickoff of a woman's narrative this past Saturday at the University of Maryland. We had over 240 people who came out to hear these phenomenal women share their stories. The women came from all across the U.S. and beyond. We had someone who traveled from South Carolina, North Carolina, Chicago, Florida, Texas, and even the Bahamas to be our featured speakers. And oh my God, people cannot stop talking about the impact that was made, and talk about with Charmin, the mindset shift that was happening in that space based on what they heard, and being reminded that your story is so important. Someone needs to hear it. When you share your story, it frees you and it frees someone else to know that whatever they're going through, number one, they're not alone, and whatever they're going through, they don't have to stay stuck in that mess. Amen. That's the power of women opening their mouths and sharing their stories. And these women, these speakers, just knocked it out of the park. Special thanks to Miko Branch, who's the CEO of Miss Jessie's Hair Products, that I have on my hair today, looking like a lioness. Come on now. I want to thank her for being our keynote speaker. She was amazing, as well as Larry Smith. You guys have seen him on Good Morning Washington. He's been a news anchor and journalist for 22 years. He popped in and just took a few minutes to speak to us as women from a male perspective about the importance of our stories. And then he was heading to Maui because he is kickstarting his own production company. Thanks to Tulani out of Atlanta. Oh my God, if you don't know her, you got to look her up at Tulani, Tulani. She is a performer, a harpist, but she has a band that comes with her, and she knocked it out of the park. Every performer, Art Sherrard, saxophonist here local to the DMV, came in and shut it down at the end. It was phenomenal and mind-blowing. And our next stop is Atlanta, Georgia in March. We're going to be there March 16th, so I'll be sharing some more details about that. And then last but not least, y'all, it's here. Oh my God, it's here. Our new magazine that I launched at the event on Saturday, Impact the World magazine, y'all. It is here to complement the radio show, Impact the World Radio, and now the magazine. As you can see, Miko Branch, CEO of the multi-million-dollar hair product company. Let me just add that in there. Multi-million dollars, not $1 million, just multi. Yes. Come on, multiple millions. Come on now. I think a lot of us are trying to get there. She is our inaugural cover girl, and we're just so honored that she graced the cover of the magazine. This month for October, in celebration of breast cancer awareness as well as domestic violence, we have featured some amazing women who have gone through their own fight. Mahogany Moss, we are celebrating you. She is fighting through breast cancer. I think she has one more radiation treatment, as well as Latalia Palmer, who is also on her final treatment, and then they go in for reconstruction. We celebrate you this month. And then we have two amazing ladies, who shared their story of domestic violence and recovering from that. So we're giving a huge shout out to Amina McWhirter and Tamika Douglas. So you guys, if you want to check out the magazine and read the amazing articles, just go to impacttheworldmagazine.com. Thank you so much, guys. Y'all beat me to it. I love it. They are typing it in the feed and Facebook before I could even say it. Impact the World Magazine. Thank you, Nika. impacttheworldmagazine.com. I'm telling you, you need to go and read it. So we're super excited about that. All right, now, moving on. Quintaria.
Quintaria.
We're going to get there by next year. Quintaria Brunson is my next guest. She is a community leader and a rising real estate mogul. She's a Detroit native who is creating a new wave in Christianity and fashion with her Faith and Fashion Week by infusing the runway with wholesome and hot trends. I love this. I can't wait to hear more. Faith and Fashion Week got its start in 2012 as a pop-up fashion breaks in churches and schools. Since then, Quintaria has taken Faith and Fashion Week to Detroit, Charlotte, Atlanta, D.C., and so many other cities that are going to soon be announced. Beyond the lights, the tasteful fashion, and the fierce strides on the runways, Faith and Fashion Week provides ideas and resources that reinforce a balanced lifestyle through workshops and conferences. Welcome.
Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Me. Thank you.
So Faith and Fashion Week. First of all, how did you come up with this? And did you question whether or not this might be successful? Because when you talk about wholesome.
Yes. Come on.
Right. We know, unfortunately, and especially a lot of times in our community, it's not the wholesome that gets the attention and the interest. It's a bunch of hot mess that typically people, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just the truth. It's sad, but it's the truth. Yes. So tell me, how did you even think about this idea, and what convinced you to say yes to moving forward?
Well, the idea actually was kind of brought to me. My background is in community, like I'm a community leader, so as I would put on conferences or community events or plan events for other people, as I plan fashion shows or help with fashion shows, I would hear consumers as well as designers saying that, oh, well, that's just how they make clothes these days, you know.
Yes.
Or designers saying, well, if you're not risque, like you're not noticed, and that just bothered me to the core, you know. Like, as a woman of faith, I felt like, aren't we supposed to be the head and not the tail? Like, why are we being drugged through, you know, like just forced, like, oh, you're going to force me to wear this low-cut shirt that shows all my cleavage. Not me, you know. So, so that hearing that cadence again and again, and being a breakout individual, you know, it was like, oh no, like I will not sit here and not at least attempt to put something together, to provide a platform to do something different, and to speak to. If I thought it would be accepted, I definitely, of all the things that I have created and produced and put forth to the world in my life, Faith and Fashion Week is one of the things that is very, it's a lot of fear there because you don't know how you'll be received.
Absolutely.
You don't, the simple fact that it's a faith-based event, you don't, like, you know, people, you got to be Christian to go to this. No, you don't have to be Christian, you know. You can just want to warm yourself from the inside out and look that way. And we will welcome you. We, you know, like, so I would say from every thing that I've accomplished and will accomplish, Faith and Fashion Week is a platform that I have to stand firm, and it requires a lot of faith on my part. You know, it is truly.
And I'm sure you probably are telling yourself them affirmations that Charmin and I were talking about earlier. Having to walk through that negative self-talk and negative chatter.
Oh, most definitely.
Because
I'm an affirmation person anyway.
Yes.
In my bedroom, above my on my ceiling is a prayer and affirmation. When I look to the left, there's an affirmation.
Come on.
On my bathroom, when you recognize the leader within you, you have to feed that.
Yes.
You have to feed that yourself, because if you don't, and I think you two alluded to it earlier, if you don't, it will kind of fizzle out. So you've got to start with the motivation for yourself. And like you, mine isn't innate. People think that I am the most motivated person on earth. Seriously. From my colleagues to my team to volunteer, people are like, oh my gosh, Quintaria, like you have so much energy and you're so passionate. but at the end of the day, it's because I fuel myself with those things.
Absolutely.
I think on what's lovely, what's good, what's, and it pours back out. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so good. And Charmin also referenced this earlier about investing in ourselves and being lifelong students. So I think it's a combination of the self-affirmation, self-belief, self-confirmation, in addition to staying in those circles that continue to confirm you, not validate you, because nobody else you shouldn't be looking at anybody to validate you. But certainly confirmation that there's something there, keep going. Like, all of us need that. And Charmin also mentioned Lisa Nichols. So that's my coach. And wow. I'll be going there. I'll be going to Orlando next week. I'll be there for the entire week to kind of finish up some of my training with her. I did a VIP day with her last year, which was amazing. And then I was just with her a couple months ago in Biloxi, Mississippi. We were both speaking on a really big platform. Shout out to Success Women's Conference in Biloxi, Mississippi. This is their second year having me there. Last year, I was their keynote speaker. This year, Lisa was their keynote speaker. But I came in and did 4 sessions, including a session for Lowe's. And it just, when you're in those spaces where people are constantly confirming and reaffirming and fueling. And for me, I typically don't just go and speak. I find some area to be a student in. So I sit and listen to another speaker or a couple speakers, or I go to a session because I always want to keep fueling me as well. Yeah. So I love that you said that. So tell us how this plays out. Like, what does it look like? If for somebody who's never been, create a picture of us for what Faith and Fashion Week really looks like.
Well, let's see what Faith and Fashion Week is. It is truly a journey from the inside out. So it is a multi-day event, depending on what city we're in and what the constraints we have with that. This particular one starts with the Mind, Body, and Spirit. So the Mind, Body, and Spirit Conference is just that. It gives people tools, resources, and builds them up from the inside out. Yeah. So we'll have a panelist of individuals who can speak to those areas in life. Okay. The next day is a new event, but it is getting so much buzz and so much like traction on social media, is the body type workshop. So we are educating individuals based on your body type. First of all, we need you to love whatever God gave you. Because as a woman, how this kind of popped into my mind, like body type. One is, I hear it so often, like, I don't know what to wear. That looks good on her and not me. And absolutely. But what amazes me as a woman, and I can only speak from a woman's perspective because that's the body that God dropped me in. Right. Nonetheless, like the women who have small hips want, like, oh, I wish I had your hips. If women who have larger breasts, like, I wish I had your. It's like we're always wanting what someone else has. Yeah. Someone is coveting what you have. Yes. You're wanting what someone else has. Yes. And we forget to just appreciate what we're in. Now, that does not mean, you shouldn't eat healthy or be more cognizant about your mental health and things of that nature. I don't say that at all. But where you are, you've got to love that. Yes. I tell people, you got to love me for me right here today.
Yeah, I'm going to pause you right there for a second. What I say oftentimes is people will say, oh, Cheryl, let's take this picture. You have a best side, girl? All my sides are good. So just take it from whatever angle you want to take it from. But let me just say this. But I do have to talk myself into that belief of myself, into that love of myself, because you guys know, you've watched me with the weight. It's like the yo-yo. I feel like Oprah sometimes. Like, Lord, could I just make a decision? At the top of the year, I released 41 pounds. I done picked up 20 of them back because I like to eat. So it's hard, right? But no matter where I find myself, whatever size, I have to keep talking to myself about self-love. Love who you are right now, right here. And then tomorrow, okay, fine, we can work on being better, improving this. But I'm not going to do self-hatred. That's what I'm not going to do. Yes. Okay, go ahead, continue.
So the Body Type Conference, again, it educates people about body type. Yes. And we use fruit comparisons because that's how people's mindset goes. Yeah. Although I wanted to use the technical medical terms, and I was like, people will really be like, okay, what is
right? What you saying?
What you talking about? Metabolic physical anatomopeia. What? it's happening, Nonetheless, so like if you have a shape that is more apple or more pear, what can you put on to accentuate that and highlight that? Because oftentimes it isn't that you can't pull a look off. First of all, again, it starts with the inside. Yeah. So you have to have the confidence. But even beyond that, it's just good to know. Like if you have long legs, you might want to show those off.
Yeah.
So that I'm very excited about, and a lot of people are excited about it. And we're not. One thing that I have spoken to before when it comes to body type, people will often think that, let's say you have two women who are a pear shape. One is a size 4, the other is a size 16. People will often assume that the size 16 has a different set of problems than the 4. No, they probably both have dresses where the tops are larger than the bottom, or the bottom is snug and the top. So I want us to dispel those myths as well, too. Like size has nothing to do with it. Whatever size you are, we know that you may have challenges, and we want you to flow into being even more beautiful and and enhance where you are regardless. So that's the second day. And then the final day is the day that most people are really excited about and come out. That's the grand finale. Yeah. That's the fashion show where you'll have different designers. And this year, our theme is Genesis in the beginning. So we will have a Garden of Eden type feel going on.
Okay, what's the date? Where is it at?
It is.
How I get a ticket?
Yes, it is November 7th through 10th. And it is
that's coming up. That's
yes, ma'am.
In a couple weeks.
Yes, ma'am. 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes, from today.
She
Today's
knows, because when you're the organizer, you be counting the days down. You're like, we got 12 and a half more days. Okay, and where is it?
It's at the Sheridan Hotel in downtown Silver Spring.
Okay, Silver Spring.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for more details, you can go to faithfashionweek.com. Faithfashionweek.com. And we have all of the details there.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and I hope the answer is the right answer.
Okay.
Normally, I don't ask for right answers, but I'm hoping it's the right answer. So, in your Faith and Fashion Week in the fashion show itself, do you represent all women of all shapes?
Yes.
Oh, let me tell you, that is my pet peeve. I cannot stand when I go to an event and all women's shapes and sizes are not represented. Do not show me an hour or 40 minutes or 30 minutes of just people who are size 0 to 2. That is my pet peeve, because you're not representing what the average woman, and I think there's a study that says the average woman, especially in the U.S., is about a size 14. That's average on average. So talk about that.
We definitely pull from all shapes and sizes, any ethnic group back.
I love it.
Like I said, the faith is broad. Fashion is broad. It's so multi-layered, multi-leveled, and I don't want to do a disservice to anyone. I am naturally someone who encourages people. From back in kindergarten, I was like, come on, kids, let's rally up. We're changing this chocolate milk out. And so I've always had the ability to congregate and get people to come together. So I'm not leaving anyone out.
Come on.
Because I'm not a size 4, Praise God. I don't even know if I want to be
a
size 4. No offense to those who
absolutely.
are. But I'm saying, I'm not going to not see myself or not, I have 3 daughters and they're all 3 different sizes. I don't want them not to see themselves. So the goal is to empower all and for everyone to know. I don't care if you're a size 44. If you have confidence or if you need us to help build your confidence to get down the walkway, come on.
I love it. So guys, out. November 7th through the 10th, a couple people, thank you, Leona Carter, for posting that. Thank you, Perry Mendeltra, for posting. Again, it's November 7th through 10th at the Sheraton Silver Spring. FaithFashionWeek.com. FaithFashionWeek.com. And I love that you are really taking more of a holistic approach and not just the fashion, but you're tying in faith and you're tying in self-care and self-love and confidence. And then this piece about body image and body type, like all of that, we need that. What do you say to the person who says, because I hear this sometimes, and then we'll start wrapping up. What do you say to the person who says, been to one conference, been to them all, conference, event. Why do we need to be in these spaces? Because especially in the DMV, you could literally go to an event or conference every week. Seriously, I went to Biloxi, Mississippi this year and last year, and they are so hungry because they don't get it there.
Yeah.
They don't get it. But here, sometimes I feel like when you're in a space of abundance and you get it so much and it's saturation, sometimes the hunger for it diminishes some.
That is a great question, and you are so very true. Like, it is a lot going on here. But as you said when we started this segment, faith and fashion is already so polar. People don't often put them together. We have come up with a way to, in a healthy way, to bring two things that are on two totally different sides of the spectrum from the outside.
Yeah.
We've found a way to blend and merge it together so that it can work for the masses, so that it can work for anyone. And I know, like, personally for myself, being able to overcome self-esteem issues and things of that nature, and to walk in power and in victory.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that other conferences don't give you that, but we give you faith, which is the mental, spiritual, your heart type things. And then we package you too. Like, if somebody else is doing that, partner with us, please.
Come on. I love the way you frame that.
Partner with us.
Partner with us.
Yeah,
That's right, because we get a bigger slice of the pie when we pull our resources together instead of trying to do it individually, one-on-one. You doing that, I'm doing this. Sometimes pulling those resources together is the greatest level of value that we can add to the space.
And we've seen it directly in Faith and Fashion Week this year because our team has been so phenomenal. Allowing people to, a team that works like a body. Your eyes don't do what your heart does. Your heart doesn't do what your liver does. So, like you said, like, just coming together and partnering together, this has allowed it to be expansive and not exclude, or we're human, so someone may come and say there was nothing there for me, but it definitely isn't intentional. We are definitely opening ourselves up to every faith. I have Jewish members who are providing feedback, Muslim, like, we are really opening ourselves up so that people are trendy, tasteful, and hot, and they love themselves and live healthy, and we can just blow away from there.
Come on, hashtag that. Trendy, tasteful, and hot.
Trendy,
Come on.
tasteful, hot.
Trendy, tasteful, and I love the tasteful part.
Yes.
And I so wish I could be there. I know that I'm doing a speaker boot camp on November the 10th. Otherwise, I would be in the space. That's already been. That's like, well, what time is the fashion show on the 10th?
On the 10th, it's at 7. Doors open at 6. The
PM?
fashion show. Yes, PM. So
Okay.
you there?
Maybe.
You there?
I might
We
be able
need
to
this
squeeze
media
that in.
outlet. I love
might
you.
be able to squeeze that
'Cause y'all have
in. My
empowered me.
boot camp is all day. I think it ends at like 6 or something like that. So I'd be doing a
Well, we
mad
will
dash.
save
But
you a VIP slot.
come on now, that make you want to come,
Right,
don't
yes.
it? Because I love me some
Team,
VIP.
I know y'all are on Facebook. VIP for
Come on,
Cheryl.
come
For-
on,
yes.
come on, I love it.
They putting your swag back together
I
right now.
love it. I got to make my way to mad dash across
Yes.
town. I'll be in Arlington, Virginia, but I can shoot on over to Silver Spring. So
That's
I just
amazing.
love this. I love it especially because I want my daughter, you know, when you're raising a girl, boys too, because I want my boys to have an expectation of the woman they bring home.
Yes.
But my daughter, especially because she's in that zone where she sees some of the not so tasteful choices that a lot of girls make because they don't have a model. If we talked about that with Charmin earlier, they don't have a model of what it looks like, that you can look amazing and beautiful, but it could be done tastefully. And what I love about my daughter, and I'm talking about her a lot this show, it relates, is that she's so tasteful.
Wow.
Like she don't want her boobs out.
Oh, we need
she
her
don't
to
want.
model then.
I'm telling
Like-
you, when we go, we just went to purchase her homecoming gown, and then last year they do 8th grade prom now. She don't want none of that stuff showing.
That's beautiful.
She's like, no, not this one. She
And
will
as
not.
a mother of I have 3 daughters myself, so I did not like the struggle with the other moms and and I'm like, oh well, that works for them, but my daughters are a blessing too. Like they didn't push back as much. They already knew. I even had to speak to their principal at their school and say, some of the clothes that I'm seeing here is so inappropriate. Like, it is so beyond dress code.
You go into the
Can
store,
we help you all out?
and my daughter struggles because she's like, Mommy, those are booty shorts. I'm not wearing those.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great, like you said, but feeling forced to conform to what the world is saying that you have to be.
Yes.
And that's what I think I love so much. This resonates with me because you're saying, no, there's an alternative.
Yes.
Let us show you how to do it tastefully.
Tricks that, like, if there are some things that I pick up off of a shelf and I couldn't wear alone.
Yeah.
But a camisole works miracles.
Yes.
Leggings work miracles.
Yes.
The next size up.
Yeah.
They change the game.
Come on. The next size
Because I've been
up might
squeezing
change
in
the
a
game.
10 for too long.
Right.
That's my testimony.
I love it. The next size up might just change the game. That's what I'm walking away from. The next size, Cheryl, just give it up. Go to the next size. And look, and to make yourself feel better, you can cut the tag out. Ain't nobody got to know that was the next size up. Cut the tag out, make yourself feel amazing. I love everything about what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Quintaria Brunson, the amazing founder of Faith and Fashion Week, November 7th through 10th at the Sheraton Silver Spring, faithfashionweek.com. Y'all spread the word. Please. Tell somebody. Get a ticket. If you can't be there and buy a ticket for somebody else. Be a blessing to someone else, even if you can't be in the room. And again, how do they connect with you outside of Faith Fashion Week? Are you on Instagram, social media, anything like that? And any closing thoughts? This is your moment.
Yes. Well, again, thank you so much for the opportunity. Yes. We would love to see you all at Faith Fashion Week. There are events that are free. There are some with a minimal cost to them. So there's no reason why you can't participate.
Yeah.
Faith Fashion Week is on every platform. And how you can connect to me, I'm on every platform too. I'm not that social, but my team will still manage it. But nonetheless, you can find me, Quintaria Brunson, Quintaria. Google me, and I pop up on every platform.
I love it. We're going to have to make sure that we stay connected, because we would like to at some point feature you in the new magazine. It's a monthly issue, as well as I'm going to extend that same thing to Charmin, who was so amazing. We would love to extend the opportunity to feature you in the magazine, one of our future issues. So let's stay connected. You ladies are powerful.
We're connected.
Come on now.
You've seen it here
first. You're powerful. Yes. You're amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your just your greatness with us today, and for impacting the world with your unique gift. Like, both of you brought something very unique to the table today, and I love that the world gets to experience that.
Thank you.
So keep up the great work. Guys, we are done. An amazing show. We'll have this replay up on YouTube very soon. But in the meantime, stay amazing, stay positive, keep affirming and confirming yourself, and that the world needs your greatness, and that it will never be the same if you don't share the unique thing that God gave to you. We are Impact the World Radio, and we will see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. Beautiful.
We have powerful words. We have powerful minds. We use our voices, and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear, but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over.